go. Hello everyone, my name is Barbara and I would like to welcome you all to our latest Novedge webinar episode. This week's Urbano Canalis 9.0 Exceptional Design Productivity of Storm and Sanitary Pipe Networks. In this webinar, Mihael Vaic will show you some of the main advantages of Urbano Canalis 9.0 in storm and sanitary in sanitary pipe networks. Okay, the attendees will learn how to work faster and smarter with object selection, data input, and profile design and editing tools. Mihael will also explain how to use your old AutoCAD design and convert them into a modern BIM project. Today's presenter, Mihael, has been in CAD software development and implementation for more than 14 years, in a variety of roles including programming, database design, tech support, training, and custom solution implementation. Before we get going, here's an overview of what we do at Novedge. Novedge is one of the largest online stores for design software. We offer a huge assortment of software solutions that cater to virtually every designer's need. Put us to the test and come visit our webpage at novedge.com. And for more daily software news and limited time promotions, pay a visit to the Novedge blog and follow us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Coming up next week, Introduction to Marionette in Vectorworks 2016. Last but not least, today's webinar is free and is being recorded live. So if you want to watch this or any webinar episode in our collection, just head on over to Novedge's YouTube or Vimeo channels. And now, without further ado, I'm gonna pass the screen and the sound to Mihael, and we're gonna make him the presenter. You'll see right now his screen. Here we go. Okay, Mihael, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Barbara. So, hello everyone. Once again, my name is Mihael Vaic. I'm from the company StudioARS, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about our software, Urbano Canalis. It's infrastructure design software for pipe networks, and today we're going to focus on the storm and sanitary pipe systems. So I hope everybody can see my screen and hear me okay. If you have some problems, please let me know. At the start, I just want to thank Novedge for organizing this, and also 3DA Systems, our partner for North America, who made this all possible. So, a short agenda just to see what we are talking about. So first, a little bit some basic introduction to Urbano Canalis, to some main features which can be interesting for you to take advantage of when you're doing storm and sanitary design. And in the second part of the live presentation, I'll be showing you a little bit how to reuse your old AutoCAD designs and make them modern again. And at the end, we'll have, of course, some Q&A, and of course, you will be able to ask questions even after the webinar by email to Barbara. Okay, so what is Urbano? It's very simple. It's an infrastructure pipe network design, calculation, and analysis software based on AutoCAD. So with main focus on pipe design on AutoCAD. So AutoCAD is what you need at least. If you have Civil 3D, it's even better, but AutoCAD will do just fine. Why Urbano? Well, there are three basic advantages. One is full integration into a BIM workflow, which is getting more and more important every day. Second, it's really you will find some really excellent tools for drafting and documentation. And finally, it's a very, very flexible software. So you will be able to do a lot by yourself just by changing some settings and playing around. Okay, so let's go to the live presentation. Okay, so we are here, of course, in Civil 3D. As I said, you can use AutoCAD, you can use AutoCAD Map, you can use any other kind of AutoCAD except Light, of course. So Urbano is basically inside of this panel, which we call Workspace. And all of the modules, all of the functions, all of the commands are inside. So I can hello from Nicaragua, thank you. So if you want to switch different modules, you do it here on this left panel. So we have different stuff like hydraulic calculations and digital terrain model, and this home screen is where you will be spending most of your time. So up top we have the current active systems. You can have several systems. You can have sewage, water, storm, gas, electricity, whatever. And all the commands for these systems are here. All the most important design commands, drafting commands are here in this home screen. So there's your drawing, editing, data input, and also things like profile drawing and cross sections and data import export and so on. On the lower part of the screen, of course, there are some settings. Like in every software, there is a catalog of different elements, for example, of pipes and manholes and trench elements and so on and so on. If you want to change something, you just click here and you can change the values. You can create your own groups, you can create your own items, you can copy paste, you can even copy paste catalog elements directly from Excel if you want. So there is only one catalog for everything. So as I said, everything the program uses, pipes, manholes, precast elements, trenches, upper layers, everything is inside of this interface, and it's all used in a similar fashion. Okay, we also have some additional options to start commands. So, for example, we can switch also to a ribbon view if you want. So you have some commands here. Or also there is a toolbar which you can customize. You can set up your own commands as you want. And also for the traditional people, of course, there is also direct input from the command line. So when I input a command, every command starts with ARS. When I input a command, the appropriate function is started right away. And for example, this is a node editing function, so I can just directly go into node editing. Basically, where you'll be spending most of your time is here on this panel, because here are all the commands, all the variations, all the possibilities to change, edit, and do anything you want. Okay, so let's see what we are dealing with here. So the basic elements are just simple lines and block references. These are the basic elements of an Urbano design. This means that actually everything you do with Urbano is just your standard AutoCAD elements. This means you can exchange projects very easily. Just send a DWG file, and the same is for backup and everything else you do in your company. So it's there's no need to develop any special new protocols, workflows, and so on. So just do what you do with your designs. Okay. In this particular case, we have an existing network. So let's just check it out. Okay. So this network is about 1,000 main hosts or structures, and it's about 42 kilometers of pipe, or that's about 26 miles of network. So this is this design which we are looking at right now. Also, this design is based on a digital terrain model. And this particular model is made in our own module, which is called Terraform. And we can make digital terrain models from CAD entities, meaning points and lines. We can import from a database, from a shapefile, from a tab file, or from a text file. And use all of these tools to create a digital terrain model. Of course, if you have Civil 3D, you don't need all of this. You can just use the Civil 3D digital terrain model. Okay. So, but if you have AutoCAD or AutoCAD Map, then you can find this digital terrain modeling tool to be of advantage. Okay. What else we have here? Also, in this particular case, we have some catchment areas already designed. So with a determined surface and some flows. So if I want, I can do this whole, I can do the whole design of different catchment areas. I can also, work with labels, set some specific labels, get some information. For example, if I just go over with my mouse, then the area will activate. It will tell me exactly how much area each section is getting from the catchment area. And also we have a full calculation manager. So to calculate my flows, there is a rational method, there is a very simple basic calculation, of course different waste flow calculations, and also additional flows and transit flows, and in the end, of course, total flows. What is very important here is that whatever changes you make, you can save them in a configuration, and you can reuse this later. So it's quite easy to develop different scenarios and test them a little bit, play around, find the best solution, and without erasing everything, deleting everything you made before. Okay, so just we are not going to talk about hydraulics too much today, because it's not really what you would call a basic subject. Okay, so the first thing, as we have this full calculation, we can also use it to visualize data. So we have thematic maps directly in the software. This could be strange for some, because usually thematic maps are connected with GIS software, and this is clearly not a GIS software. But still, it can be quite useful, a quite useful tool for design. So, for example, I can see here a little bit of how many elements I have with, flow velocity, and I can go and inspect visually how everything works. I can also, for example, take a look at my pipe diameters. So this is a different view. So I have my diameters here, and also number of pipes and total length. And I also can see it visually here, how it looks. So this can be, a nice way to check, analyze what you have done. But also one important thing for Urbano, to understand Urbano software, is to understand something that we call pipeline topology. And pipeline topology means Urbano automatically creates a hierarchy of all elements. So you have, of course, the basic elements like nodes and sections, but above these elements you have branches, and we are currently looking at branches. So what are branches? Everything, from a start or end point to a crossing, or
Mihael, the sound broke off, so make sure you check your microphone. We can't hear you, so if you can adjust your microphone or double check. No, unfortunately, we cannot hear you. Oh, we can hear you now. You're back. You were back. You are back.
I'm back?
Yes, you're back. There's a background noise, but you're back.
Yes.
Okay, go
Yes.
ahead.
This is the bad mic.
That's all right.
Okay. So, sorry about this. Okay.
No, you're gone again. Your voice is gone again. Try something else. Sorry, Michael. I'm sure I'm not the only one not hearing you.
Hello, Barbara. This is Gregory. I'm apologizing that I'm getting into this. It looks like, because I have a Michael also on Skype, and it looks like his line is gone. So there's a possibility that his internet connections.
Okay.
So I don't know if he works on the 2 channels, because I still see his screen.
I totally see it too. It's just the sound sometimes.
And he's proceeding with the screen, and the sound is not working. So I'm curious if we should take a short break in it, and I will give him a call and find out on a regular telephone line if we can proceed with this, and maybe we can work with the regular telephone line with his.
Okay.
He's coming back.
Looks like he's back. Michael.
Okay, perfect.
You're back.
Thank you.
Good, Michael, good. It was just a commercial break. And
commercial break? Okay.
Commercial break. We're good to go now. Take it away.
Okay. Okay, so what can you use this pipe network topology for? For one thing, you can use it to select elements from your drawing. So I can select, as I said, just certain sections. I can select, for example, from node to node. Or I can select, for example, multiple branches and look at this data. And of course, I can select arrays. So arrays are interesting because this is something that the user can edit himself. So this pipe topology allows us to be smart with selecting data. Okay, it's nice to be smart, but it's even better to be productive. So let's take a look at profiles, long sections. So we have the same selection system based on this pipe topology, this hierarchy system, also when we want to create profiles. So for example, I can create a profile from node to node. I can just select, you know, any node, any two nodes, and create a long section. I can also select several branches, for example, like this, and draw them. Of course, unlike other software, we can draw multiple long sections at once. I can even draw all of them at once, but then we will wait 1 minute for all of them to draw, so that's not an option right now. And of course, I can also select arrays. So I can, for example, select this big array and draw it directly. Okay. So the style, the view of this long section can be changed. This is just a template, which we call a configuration. Okay, and you will find almost everything inside of Urbano software is based on configurations, which means almost everything can be changed by the end customer without any programming skills. Okay, just clicking away. Let's inspect. Let's talk a little bit more about this configuration. So how do you create a configuration? Well, let's take something we got, make a copy of it, and go into editing. So for example, I have here listed all the data which are inside of this data table. So for example, I don't want some of this data, but I want to add some additional data. And I can search the whole program according to some name, and I find pipe inner diameter. Okay, I can even give it an own abbreviation if I want to, and I can set prefix, suffix, and if it's a number, then I can set preciseness as well. And now when I start it, you will see I have now this data available. Of course, I can now use my selection tool to select only the information I want, and of course I can sort this. I can select everything and make a copy. And I can just open Excel and paste inside, and I get all my data directly into Excel, meaning if you need to make any kind of data table about any value, any element, hydraulic data, geometric data, trench data, it's not a problem. You just make a data table like I did just now, and you can just copy paste the results into Excel. So it's quite simple. Okay, what else can we do with this configuration system? So how easy is it to work with this? Well, it's not too difficult. So, for example, I can use, let's take long sections. Okay, everybody spends a lot of time working with long sections. So I can for example use this manager tool to select long sections directly from the drawing. And remember, long sections are built, drawn automatically from these configurations. Okay, once I select it, I can of course move it to a different position. I can let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, I can reverse it quite easily. So it's just a press of a button, and I can change the configuration quite simply. I just select another, and it changes automatically. So it's really not that difficult to work with this system. It's very easy. So we have a lot of tools to make it as easy as possible. Okay. Now, when we have some basic understanding of this pipe topology and this configuration system, I want to show you something else, and this is queries. Again, queries are something that is maybe traditionally connected to GIS systems, but it can be very useful in design as well. So, for example, here I have a query which tells me, which makes this whole drawing into two separate sections. So I have here community 1, and I have here community 2, but I don't have community 3. So I need to make it, and how can I do this? Well, let's open this layer. So I have here some polylines which tell me to which zone, to which community each pipe and manhole is part of. Okay, so what I need to do now is create a new query, and this is a spatial query. So I just need to select this polyline and say everything that is contained within. Let's call it community 3, and let's check it. Okay, sounds fine. And that's it. I created my query. Let's test it like we did before, and it works. So that's really nice. But actually, so I don't need just to play little games. I can actually use it for something far more interesting. For example, I can use it to view data. So I just drag and drop this query to a data table, and I get only community 3 data. Okay? It's very simple. I can use it for something different as well. So, for example, I can use it to label the system. Okay, so let's drag and drop a query here, and you will see only community number 2 has been labeled. So this means you can use queries to make design, and even you can make this query even more smarter. So let's make a copy of it and go into editing, and Let's add some data. Again, I will use my pipe inner diameter. Okay. I will say equal or bigger than what. Okay. Let's see what values we have in the project. Bigger or equal than 500. That's okay. And we'll just change the name. And this should be okay. And for example, when I use it now, you can see I get the yellow lines only in community number 3 and only for pipes which inner diameter is 500 and bigger. So really it's a great analysis tool. It can be a design tool. Of course, I can use it now to label the system and do other stuff and so on and so on. So queries is really something that we can use for design a lot. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about styles. We have different styling options to view the layout, and for example, I will just use a very simple CAD selection to apply a different style. And let's see how it works. So you can have two-dimensional styles, you can have three-dimensional styles. The reason why I'm using this very simple, basic two-dimensional style is only because it's really fast. That's the only reason. So this is, let's say, a basic two-dimensional style, which shows just the diameter of the pipe. This is the real diameter. So you can see now pipes with a bigger diameter and distinguished from pipes with a smaller diameter. And also a little bit, maybe a little better distinguish between the manholes. So this is like a main manhole because there are several pipes flowing into it. It's an intersection, and this is like a secondary, not so important manhole, let's say. So it has a bigger color to be easier to spot, and this is of course something that you can control and change, so it's not an issue. Of course, Urbano design tools work no matter what style. Okay, so it's just a style. There is only one data source. There is a single data source. And it applies to layout, it applies to long sections, to profiles, it applies to cross sections, to everything in the software. And what you see on the screen is actually only a view. So there is full 3D data behind this. And let's just go. Okay. And let's apply a 3D style. Okay. Okay, let me choose. Let's say branches. Okay. And we are now on top view, so we don't see anything, but if we go here, then you can see it's a full 3D style of the network. Okay, so you can look at it also in this way if you want, and you can work in this way. There's no issue about it. And of course, you can have this mixed system like I have it right now with three different styles at the same time. Okay, last but not least of this introduction, let's talk about labels. So let's start labeling this system, and I want to label the whole system. So you will see it's quite fast. I just want to remind you, it's about 42 kilometers or 26 miles or 1,000 structures. Okay, everything has been labeled right now. So we have information, name, terrain height, invert height, and again, style doesn't matter. Everything is labeled, and it's quite fast. But of course, there are, as you can see, there are some issues because these labels are overlapping one another, and this is not perfect. So, what can we do about this? Well, of course, we have a tool for it, and this is an automatic repositioning tool. It is analyzing the system right now. It says there are 683 labels in collision. All the labels which the software found to be in collision are marked red. And I can now let the software move the labels to a safe location, so to speak, so they are not overlapping. So again, there are different options for this function. So you can set maximum number of iterations. You can set leader, the leader line increment, rotation angles, and you can even set a buffer zone around each label. And yeah, you can see some work has been done. Let's see how it's looking right now. So right now we only have 44 labels in collision, so we can do it one more time and just let the system work. Okay, and let's see how it looks right now. So now there's still 26 labels in collision. Let's say we don't want to use the automatic function anymore. We want to check this out for ourselves manually. And so I can go to every label that has been marked here to be in collision. And okay, so here we have some kind of problem, but we of course have manual tools as well. So I can just select this label, and I can place it, somewhere a little bit further away, so they are not intersecting. So of course we have automatic tools, and we again have manual tools. So you can use what you prefer. In any case, the automatic tool will save you a lot of time, and then you still have the ability to finish with the manual tools. And remember, we are only creating basic AutoCAD elements, so elements which can be used in your plain AutoCAD. So there is, not a problem to exchange this file, send it to somebody else who will do the final drafting, the final documentation, and so on. All right, so let's take a look about how to make a little design. Okay, this is not a serious design; it's a little design. Okay, what do we have here? We have some polylines. Okay, so this is your basic case, an old design made in plain AutoCAD, I don't know, 20 years ago. And there's just polylines and some text. And now you need to do something with this design. So how can you be smart about this issue? Okay, so first we need to convert this to Urbano. Okay, so I will select these polylines, and I will choose the digital terrain model. It's a Civil 3D model directly, so you can see if you have a Civil 3D DTM, there is no conversion. Just select it as a Civil 3D. You can also select Terraform, which is Urbano digital terrain model, or you can select 3D Face. Okay, so there's actually a lot of possibilities. Okay, and we can label the system and delete the source elements. Okay, because we don't need these polylines anymore. Okay, let's zoom in. What do we have now? Now we have lines. Okay, this means they have been converted to Urbano. Okay, second thing, we have these street names, and actually these street names can be quite useful, and I will show you how we can use them. So we have a function here that's called copy the nearest data. So let's call it street name to array. Okay, and I select the array name. It's of type text. It can only also be inside the block, but this is a simple text. So on which layer, of course, select the layer. And what I need to do is also give the software some indication how wide he should look for these elements. So he says 43. Let's make it 45. And there are, different types of buffer zones where the program will look, but this one will work just fine. And I select everything, and I'm going to convert. Okay, so let's see what we did here. Okay. So, as you can see, Main Street, Oak Street, Palm Street. Now my arrays have these names. And I also got some generic names. I told you Urbano makes this automatically. So I also have some generic names for some elements. Okay. That's nice. Okay, conversion finished. How to draw? Well, we just go here and say draw network elements. And now this is a long list of possibilities. You can draw in flow direction, in opposite flow direction. You can draw sections and nodes, or only nodes or only sections. You can draw lines or arcs, and so on and so on. Many options. I will do automatically make some labels. I will automatically select some pipes and manholes. Also, I will automatically get my terrain heights from the digital terrain model, and I will not draw the invert right now. I don't want to. If you have a pressurized system, for example, in these systems it's quite often the case that the invert is, let's say, on a fixed depth below the terrain, so you can use it directly here, but I have a gravitational system, storm system, so I don't want to set any fixed invert right now. Okay, so drawing is quite simple. We have our own snap function, so you don't need to worry about AutoCAD snap. Okay, and that's it. So pipes are drawn, labeled, everything is made. Nice. So we don't need this anymore. Okay, delete this. Let's do it again. Okay, another generic array just appeared here, the green one. Okay, so no more generic arrays. We need to do something. Let's go into array editing. So first, we are going to merge arrays. So I want to merge this Main Street with this additional arrays, and let's see. Okay, now I've only got 4 arrays left, but I still have this generic name here. So I want to rename this generic array. So it says A42, and I want it to be called Cherry Street. Okay, and let's do this again, and there you go. So it's quite simple to do. Okay. Okay. So one last thing, we don't want these street names anymore. Let's make our own labels. So not only sections and manifold structures, I can also label arrays. So let's do it. Okay, this is how it looks, and I don't like it. I want to change it. Okay, no problem. Let's go here, array name, click on editing. So first, I don't want this frame. Second, I don't want it to say array. And third, I want it to be a little bit bigger, okay? So let's save it, delete everything, and redraw everything. And there you go, just the street names. And I just need to change the position a little bit because I'm not happy about these positions. Okay, perfect. So now that we have all of this, let's do the really important stuff, and that is the long sections, of course. So select everything. Now you can see why it is important to have these array names, because now I can name my long sections, and this is really great. Okay, so let's draw all of them at once. And if you remember correctly, when I was drawing this street, I also selected pipes and manholes, but we don't have them. Why? Because we don't have an invert. And it's the same thing here. We don't have an invert, we don't have pipes, we don't have anything, just long sections. So it is in Urbano, these things are not connected. You can draw a long section with pipes, without pipes, with invert, without invert. You can do whatever you want. You can edit and add stuff later and erase and draw again and do it as many times as you want. So, okay, invert. We need some kind of invert. So what can we do? Let's use this little part of the software below here. It says disk repository. What does this mean? This is basically my folder, my place where I keep all of my configurations. Okay, it's on my hard drive, and I keep all of my configurations here. And I have prepared some, just in case, to do some invert editing. And also for bigger companies, there is an option also to upgrade the software with a network repository. This means you can have your storage of configurations on a server, which can also be on the internet. So it connects through TCP/IP, so it can be local or it can be on the internet. And so if you're a big company, then you get administrator rights and you get standard users and so on and so on. And you can manage all of this stuff for the whole company, and everybody can get the right configurations from the right place. Okay, so how do we do this automatic invert calculation? Well, it's a series of tests, set variables. So minimum slope is 10 and maximum is 100, and minimum depth below terrain is 1 meter and maximum is 5, and so on and so on. So basically I just tell it to do the calculation, and that's it, and let's see the results. So Cherry Street actually looks quite okay. In the other streets, as you can see, no pipes and no manifolds because I didn't set them, but I get an invert line. Okay, and I obviously have a problem here. This is not good. This is not going to be good. So what am I going to do? I'm going to copy this and go into editing, and I'm going to say minimum slope 15, and I'm going to change this value here, no, and only select Main Street. Do the calculation, apply the changes, and close. And when you look, okay, everything has updated. So this is fine. And I also need to do something on my last street, on Palm Street, because it's not okay. And okay, now it looks better. Okay, but I still have some problems. So what can I do? The automatic cannot help me. Okay, no problem. We have, of course, manual tools. So I go into like Invert editing, and I have a bunch of commands. I want to insert a drop manifold. Okay, so basic stuff. So I select how deep I want to go. It draws me vertical end, shift adjacent invert line. Okay, and it's made. Okay, I want to do some straightening by slope. Okay, you see the little green line, and we can do the editing like this. Okay, let's go here. Okay, similar issue. Okay, let's select this. Again, insert a drop manifold. Let's select now straighten by line. Similar thing, but again a little bit different. Okay, up to here and edit. So it's really simple to get, even with manual tools, to get really good results really fast. And what about Cherry Street? Well, let's say I don't like it and I want to delete it completely. Okay, I'm just deleting the invert, I'm not deleting the pipe and the manifold. Okay, so what can we do now? We can, of course, draw. And I will select again this long section. I have again a set of rules. I want my slope step to be 5 promiles, minimum depth 1 and maximum depth 4. I'm going into drawing, so the program is showing me where 1 meter is and 4 meters. Okay, so I want to start about here. So my slope is in increments of 5 promiles. So I can be a little bit precise if I want to, or I can be just, really fast. And there you have it. So if you want to draw manually, you can do as well. So, and there are different commands here as well. So in all of these functions, there's a lot of additional possibilities, but I can show it everything just in one session, because I think we are already close to the end. So just to show you very quickly a couple of more things, and then we'll finish. Okay, so how do I finish this design? Well, obviously I need to input pipes. Okay, and I can do this again with a pipe input tool. I just say save, select the type of pipe and say save. I can also do it as many times as I want to, and it will overwrite automatically. And if I go to my long sections, everything has been updated. So I don't need to worry about updating long sections. They are always updated. When I update the layout, the long sections update. When I update the long sections, the layout updates. Okay, so everything happens automatically. So, and it's the same about manifolds. I just select from a list. This is from the catalog directly, and the catalog is editable. So you can select whatever you want. It's not an issue. You can add elements. You can erase them, edit them, and so on. If you don't like, what you get, you can always change it. And also I can do a little bit trench design. Okay, let's give it to this array. And for example, I can set a double trench only for these two branches. Okay, and I can also input upper layers. Let's say it's a road. Okay, everything is a road, and I just say save. Okay, quick look at the long section. They look differently. Of course, they have the upper layers, the trenches a little bit. So, but again, this is a configuration. So if you want to change it, you can. It's not a problem. When I have all this data, what can I do? Well, I can play around with other stuff as well. So I can make, for example, cross sections, and also cross sections are quite fast. So this is just for one array, and it looks something like this. And double trench looks a little bit different. And again, this is a configuration which you can change. And also, what can I do? I can make some schemas of the manifolds, and again, quite fast to make. All right. So how does it look? It looks something like this. You get a top view, you get a cross-section view. This is like an unfolded 2D view, and also a data table. And of course, this is a configuration which you can change. We are running out of time, so I will finish with just the last thing. And everybody is talking about BIM these days, okay? But what does it actually mean? Well, it means that you can, exchange data with other people without losing data. So I made here an IFC export configuration. Okay, so in Urbano it works like this. If you want to get data in or get data out, you need to make an import or an export configuration. So with what systems can you connect? You can connect with databases like Oracle or MS SQL or Access. You can, of course, you have some LandXML shape file, tab file, text file, basic text file. But I select now IFC because everybody is talking about BIM. So let's select IFC. And I will do sections and nodes. So I want to export a bunch of data, okay? And let's run this configuration for the whole system and just press export. And it says here export successfully finished. Okay, nice. Let's see. Okay, it says here I have here this IFC file, and I'm just now opening it in Navisworks, and hopefully you can recognize it. So this is what we have been making. And the good thing about this is now in Navisworks, thanks to the IFC, you have all the data about the manifolds and about the pipes. So I have everything that I put in the export configuration in Urbano, you can now watch in Navisworks. So pipe diameter, inner, outer, pipe type, circular, its sewage system, and so on and so on. And this is true for every element here. But actually, this is a really small and not really good example. But I, of course, have a better example. So let's open this one. And the whole purpose of Navisworks is, some people will say, it's clash detection. So for clash detection, you of course have to have several systems, and I have 4 systems designed with Urbano. And the same thing applies. I have all my data here, and so I'm not just looking at a nice 3D picture. I'm actually looking at a 3D picture with a whole lot of data, and you know, if I want to get a visual on my pipes, are they clashing or not? I can, you know, do it right here. And Navisworks is the perfect tool. Of course, as I showed you, you can do it in Urbano as well, because you can make this 3D pipe style. But with this IFC export, you can send it to Navisworks or to other software even. You can send it to people outside of your company without sending them the DWG file. So they cannot change your design, but they can really look into it. So I want to, let's just try to finish. Okay, so because time is running out, if I understand correctly. Okay, so Urbano Canalis, I showed you like 10%. There is so much more that we didn't talk about, but it's just impossible to talk about in 1 hour. So the basic package, what you get digital terrain modeling, you get, and this also means support for the Civil 3D digital terrain model and for 3D face digital terrain model. You get data conversion from line polyline and from text block attributes. You saw something. Of course, you don't need to convert street names. You can convert pipe diameters or terrain heights or whatever. You get layout and long section design, of course, catchment design and influence area design, flow hydraulic calculation, and pipe flash analysis. I didn't show it today. It's not really what you might call it basic subject. Okay, then there is also a pro version, of course, and the pro version is the BIM version. Okay, it's one way of remembering. So with the pro version, you also get import-export with shape and tab files, with databases, with AutoCAD Civil 3D. I didn't show it, but you can convert everything you do in Urbano. You can pipes and manholes. You can match the catalogs of Urbano and Civil 3D, and this means you can import Civil 3D projects, and you can export to a Civil 3D project. So if you want to do this, then you need the Pro version. And this export to IFC, which I have shown, is also inside of the Pro version. And you also get advanced cross-section and advanced stretch design. Okay? And then something I didn't talk at all today is water distribution system design, or pressurized pipe networks. So we have those as well, and they are called Urbano Hydra, and you can also purchase the full set, so gravitational and pressurized systems, and then you of course get layout and long section design tools. You also get data input according to EPANET, which means you can actually use Urbano Hydra as an editor, if you want, a graphical editor for EPANET. And you get import-export with EPANET, and you also get some drafting tools. And of course, there is an ultimate version where you get all of this, and of course, you get also some parcel creation and editing, buffer, thematic analysis. You can get pipe and parcel intersection analysis, which means you can actually analyze which parcels are intersected by a specific pipe network. And you also get some tools for raster and vector maps. And last but not least, and then I will finish, just a little reminder about, or a little talk about licensing. Now everybody is talking about licensing because of Autodesk. So just as a reminder, we still have and we are going to keep both permanent and rental licenses. So for permanent, there are single and network licenses, very, very similar to Autodesk. There is a subscription system and there is an upgrade system. We are not removing those. They are going to stay. And if you prefer rental, There is also an option for a single workplace, single computer rental, 90 days and 1 year. And there is also an option of a network rental license, and there we have two packages, 5 seats and 20 seats. And the network rentals are only 1 year. Okay? So, thank you very much. I apologize for the problems. These things, unfortunately, with live events cannot be foreseen.
It's the beauty of being live. So, you know,
Yes.
these things, if you record this in advance, you can get this thrill, right?
Exactly.
We love it, and we love it. And thank you so much, Mihael. Great comeback. I will take the screen back if you don't mind.
Yes.
And share my
Certainly.
slides. And I really want to thank everybody for attending. And also, I want to remind everybody that to visit the Novedge page at novedge.com, where you can find Urbano Canalis. Novedge is the best way to buy design software online. And like Mihael said, if you're watching this webinar on YouTube or Vimeo, if you're watching this recording, make sure to go check the description, because I will post a link to a survey. And if you decide to take the survey, you will get the whole month of Urbano Ultimate Rental to try it out, free of charge. This is a big deal because, you know, you can download the 7-day trial, but this is 30 days. You can really get into it and explore all those possibilities that Mihael couldn't get into. So check it out. And don't forget that this next week's webinar is about Introduction to Marionette in Vectorworks 2016. And to rewatch today's webinar or previous ones, go on Novedge YouTube or Vimeo channel. And there's a lot of webinars in our playlist that you can enjoy. Thank you again, everybody. And I would like to thank Mihael. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next webinar. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.